Hey guys, welcome back to Business Ninjas. This is your host, Kelsey, checking in today. I'm here with Trent McIntyre from Peak American Financials. He's the business development manager, and we're excited to have him on the show today. Trent, how are you?
Good. Thanks, Kelsey. Excited to
Awesome.
be here.
So, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you end up at Peak American Financial?
So, in a way, I was kind of born into the company. So, my father started the company in 1994. I was born in 97. Um, Grew up around the company and never thought I would work here. I wanted to do my own thing, and I ended up here through a series of events and ended up just really enjoying it here. I get to help my family, I get to help clients, and I I don't know. I feel like I was prepared for this by the 18 years I spent here, in and out of the company. I was a intern here when I was like 10. I was like a little fifth grader. I was doing, data entry on a computer for 4 hours a day in the summer. But yeah, so that's how I ended up here. And yeah, so
Nice, nice. So, how did your dad get the company started then back in '94? Kind of what led him to start Peak American Financial?
yeah, so he moved to Dallas when he was 18, I believe. He's from Flint, Michigan. Um, wasn't much opportunity for him up there. Kind of the plants were shutting down, and all his family had moved, and he had some family here in Texas, and his brother was here. He moved down here, and he worked at McDonald's for a little bit, and then his brother was selling insurance at the time, and recruited my dad to come work with him, and they were, you know, in that business and very successful. And um, my dad just felt like he could do it better on his own, and he really just did not like cold calling and prospecting, and so he started this business. Um, I guess to be a business by advisors for advisors, and
Mhm.
so um, that's what makes our company pretty unique from an advisor standpoint. We don't have our advisors prospecting. We don't have them doing paperwork. They are here to help the client. So he hired a essentially someone to prospect for him and an admin, and they got started in 1994. And now we're at I think about 75,000 like people we've helped and counting. So
Wow.
yeah.
I love the family ties and the roots that this company has. That's great to hear. I love homegrown stories like that. So, why would someone come to Peak American Financial? Tell me a little bit about, what you folks can do for people.
Yeah, so we focus on like the retirement age demographic. We help the people who aren't really getting help from the bigger players. We're here to help anyone and everyone. We don't have minimums or anything like that. But yeah, so really where we help people is that transition from accumulation to retirement. So for someone like me, the name of the game is really save early, save often, invest, diversify. And then when you get to a certain age, you have this chunk of cash in your qualified accounts, right? And we kind of help you decide, okay, what do I do with that now? Because
Mhm.
once the older you get, the more that market volatility, inflation, um, running out of money, healthcare costs, the more those all become a threat. And so um, once you're done with the accumulation stage, we like to kind of help you figure out what mix of growth and preservation and different products will help you accomplish your goals. And so um, what we do better than anyone else is that we're duly licensed. A lot of people will be either in the insurance products and they'll be ultra conservative. They'll be like, okay, you spent your whole life making all this money. put this in an annuity, you have income for life,
Hmm.
but they can't really help you with inflation because they can't put you in equities, right?
Hmm.
Or they're, equities guys and they're not on the insurance side and they keep you in the market, but they can't really protect you from volatility. And so you've got the upside, but you probably don't need all the upside for the risk that comes with it. So we play in both worlds and we can really put together a really holistic plan for people. And I think we're one of the only companies in the country that will do estate settlements.
Hmm.
We have clients that buy, become clients from us out in California, and then they'll move back to their farm in Indiana. And no matter where you are or where you've moved to, we'll settle your estate when the time comes. So we'll send an agent out to, small town Indiana on a flight, and they'll be there to help your family get it all settled. So, yeah, those are some things we do. It's some things that make us special. We operate by the golden rule found in Luke 6:31. Jesus said to do unto others as you'd have done unto yourself. So if it was my family and I had passed, I would want them to be taken care of. So.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, that's a really personalized approach that you folks take that it sounds like it's different than a lot of the big companies that
Hmm.
you really work your way down to the individual and take, like you said, take that family, into your family, the
Hmm.
home family that you folks are.
Of course.
So, how do you folks generate revenue? So I know you help other people make money. How do you folks make money?
Yeah, so it depends on the product. So we make money on obviously from the annuity sales. That's a commission product, and then on the investment side, it's a investment fees. So we have really reasonable fees, and yeah. So I guess just at a very elementary level,
Hmm.
the insurance side is commission, the investment side is fees.
Hmm. Okay. So how did your father over the last few years and adding you into the company, how have you scaled the business?
Yeah, so the wealth management side of the company is pretty new relative to the insurance side. We've been in business since '94, but the wealth management stuff is kind of when I was brought in, that's what I was here to grow. So
Hmm.
um, I've been here for about 3 or 4 years now, and that's really where we've been growing the company is kind of um, taking it from we can help you with this one part of your financial situation to let's look at the whole picture and we can be your one-stop shop. And we even have a guy in here that's a property and casualty guy. He's a broker, and so you can really come in here and get pretty much all of your, you know, finances taken care of. And so that's where we've grown a lot.
Nice. And do you folks, how do you acquire new customers? Is it more so like outreach? Is it word of mouth? How do you
Hmm.
how do you acquire new customers?
Yeah, so in the legacy business, we would kind of be partnered with other companies that had same verticals, and we would both service the same clients. And then in the wealth management side, it's a lot more outbound marketing. We've done a lot of dinner events. We're getting into a lot of digital marketing.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, dinner events for a while. Those are really great. They're expensive, but they generate a lot of activity. So
Yeah,
yeah.
nice. So that attracts a lot of local customers then, I imagine.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're working on some, you know, kicking around some stuff to maybe expand our footprint with
Hmm.
the digital tools we have now. We can
Hmm.
help anyone anywhere, right? But
Yeah.
that for people coming into the office, those workshops are great because those people are local. You're only marketing locally, and yeah.
Yeah. So when you are working on that marketing strategy, how do you educate prospective customers? How do they learn what you folks do?
Yeah, so that's a great question. With the dinner seminars, obviously they come eat a dinner and then we kind of tell them what we do. We
Hmm.
talk to them. And it's more fun than it sounds. It's not like they're just sitting there listening to someone and be like, we're a retirement planning company. This is what we do. It's more interactive and we
No, totally.
want to educate people when we do those. And
Yeah.
so we do that, and then yeah, I guess with the digital marketing, it's we obviously work to find a way to get a foot in the door, and
Hmm.
then we'll educate them through. Um, Ideally, our advisor will get a hold of them and they'll
Hmm.
have like kind of a warm up call to educate them,
Hmm.
or we'll have you know, different like retargeting strategies, whether it's email or social or stuff, to kind of put ourselves out there and so they
Hmm.
can kind of learn about what we do.
Yeah. And so besides those dinner parties, what has been regarding social media channels, what has been the best outreach for you? What's worked best?
That's a good question. Honestly, we haven't done a whole lot with direct response
Hmm.
social media type stuff. We have had some success with some events that were not dinners, but more like cocktail events.
Hmm.
Um, and so those were marketed through social media.
Okay.
Had a lot of trouble with social media marketing on the actual workshops. Just saw a lot of um, the pull through was a lot less
Okay.
for one reason or another. But um, yeah, so I would say those alternate events, and then we've been working with some kind of leave behind type stuff where it's like, you know, get your 7 tips for retirement book
Yeah.
free, and then kind of fill out a contact form and we'll reach out to you type thing.
Yeah. No, that sounds great. And it sounds like that dinner party and those cocktail hours really ties back into that homegrown,
Mhm.
home-rooted, really personalized approach that you folks take to, insurance and investments. That's really
Yeah.
that's really great. So if you had to say, you're planning these cocktail parties, you're planning these dinner parties, what is the main kind of demographic or target audience you would be looking to pull into these events?
Yeah. So like I said before, we aren't really we're not like some firms that are trying to land people with 10,
Mhm.
20 million dollars, and that's kind of what they do. We'll help pretty much anyone. We really succeed with like middle class America. So um, retirement assets anywhere between 250K and $3 million.
Mhm.
That's kind of our sweet spot. And yeah, so a lot of people that aren't getting the level of service they deserve from their financial advisor, you know, because their account's not as big as, you
Mhm.
know, the billionaire down the road that they have
Right.
half the assets on. So
Right.
that's kind of where we excel.
Okay. Okay. So say someone's listening to us right now and they wanted to learn a little bit about more about you folks and, potentially work with you folks. Where would be the best way for them to go about reaching you?
Yeah, so you can call our phone number 972-380-1119. You can go to our website. We recently migrated it, so I'm still fixing it up a little bit. But there's a lot of good information on there. We're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn. So those are all good places to learn about us. And I would just say like our website's probably the best place to start. It kind of explains everything pretty concisely.
Yeah, just learn a little bit about more about you folks and, the story behind Peak American Financial, I imagine.
Hmm.
Great. Well, hey, Trent, this has been an awesome conversation. I loved learning more about Peak American Financial and about how you got to where you were and your dad. I think that's an awesome story. We appreciate you and your family being business ninjas, and we loved having you on the show today.
Thanks, Kelsey.
All right.